introduce yourself to us, sir.
All right. My name is Mr. Brain, as the official name. But for those of you who know me more personal, I call me Oluwagbenika. All right, but Mr. Brain is quite fine. So, the director of Brain Master Tutorials, proprietor of Brain Master Heavy College, and more to come as well.
I've loved every single development that I found in both Brain Master Tutorial and Brain IV. It keeps me wondering how you were able to position yourself in durability, in as much as there are different storms, challenges in the administration and all, you still stand out. You're not the first to start in this environment, but I can tell that we cannot count 3 without mentioning Brain Master. If we are to look at the record, every year you surpass the previous year. Yeah, I have followed your record for over 3 years, and I can tell that it has not been the same and it has not been less. Yeah, this year you made a series of record of the JAMB score. It was marvelous. How do you prepare these candidates of yours to come up with such a score?
All right, that's a very big question. And I wouldn't say there's a particular secret any which way. Like you said, we don't have the best of students coming. Some of them are wonderfully well, some of them are average, some of them are below average. But one thing I do every year is to do little inspiration for the student. I remember I always look out for the best student of the previous year, call them, talk to the student. Sometimes they believe more when they see results from people than you talking as the director. They feel like, that's what just every provider say, read, this and like that. So I remember a boy who came to the tutorial, I think 2023. I can't really remember his name very well. And we saw a picture of a guy who scored 310 that year. I was like, wow, he was always with the banner. I said, wow, I would like to be like this boy. So within a couple of days, he met that guy. He said, please, are you the one I saw on the banner there? And he started asking him questions. How did you do it? How did you Lo and behold, the guy also had 301, though he couldn't even score up to what that guy said. But because of what he saw in that other guy, he was like, if this guy can do it, he's around 16, 17 or 18 years old, maximum science student, I'm also a science student, I believe I could also do it. So one thing we do, number one, and that's why we always put their pictures on banners, because there is power in vision, what you see, right? Because when they don't see, they don't know it is possible. Like this last 2025, we did a banner where we wrote the last year record of 358, and on the 2026, we did a question mark that who is next. So every time most of those students pass through that side, they say, I'll be the one, I'll be the one. So we created that inability in them that there is nothing impossible. You can surely do it. And of course, there are little moral talks that we give to them. Academic is one. And one thing I've also introduced is to show them the God factor. Because I've shown them my life experience, especially during my master's days in the University of Lagos. One exam I almost did terribly bad. I was so prepared for this exam that I even slept in the library. I didn't even take my bed to the hall. I was so black, my head tattered. And I saw the question, lo and behold, that I finally the answer 3 or 4. Everything was something I could put down. But do you know what happened? Within 5 minutes, I discovered that my hands were numb. I could not write anything. I was like, what's going on? 10 minutes into the exam, I remember, I didn't even appreciate God. I didn't even commit this exam to God's hand. And by the time I remembered, immediately I remembered, and I offered 1 or 2 prayers to God. Do you know, the time factor was very low. But at the end of it, I didn't fail the exam, but it taught me a lesson that there's a part of hard work. I won't dispute that. Student must study hard, you must cover the syllabus, but there's a God factor that you must not forget. So I believe combining these two together, showing them that leaders are readers, and showing them that whatever you're doing, you should commit it to the hands of God. Actually, the race is not for the mighty, it's not for the best, but of God we show mercy. So this we continually do to ensure we keep getting the best of them every year.
On the angle of religion,
okay,
how do you get to manage someone questioning you on why are you doing, praise and worship, preaching in this administration, where probably the person is a Muslim, Have you experienced anything like that? Maybe you've not. Since you are doing the thank you Jesus,
Yeah.
you should also do the thank you Allah. Something like that. How have you been able to manage that?
Yeah. So, well, every year we have challenges on that.
Okay.
In which way? But the result or the people who appreciate it are actually more than the people who have excuse to it like that.
Okay.
So we understand that we have people from the other religions,
Yes.
Muslim, even the non-Muslim,
Mhm.
even the atheists and the rest of that. Definitely we have little platform for those people who are really non-Christian, like maybe
Okay.
the deep Muslims, right?
Okay.
That's when we are really going extreme that might be beyond their faith. But definitely, we all believe in God.
Yes.
And there are many times where I offer prayer to them, where we do programs like Anchor, that
Okay.
all the Christian, the Muslim, the non,
Okay.
they all stay and they are blessed, and everybody will shout, Amen. When you pray that, I pray for you, all of you, prepare for this exam, you will succeed. It will only take a madman to leave the place and say, why is he praying for succeed? So, so on that area, on those kind of prayer we pray, because majorly their prayers we pray is for them, God to see them through the journey of the exam, God to protect them while they are with us. So I do not see any religion that will have disparity with the director praying for the well-being of their students. However, when we need to now go extreme to some level, the funny thing is even the non-Muslim, they enjoy our worship, they enjoy the stage, they sing the song here. So religion should not be a very big issue because we know it's a big issue affecting the world at large. So at our place there, we always make sure that everybody we are on the same track like that. But that does not mean that we will forcefully convert a non-Christian to a Christian. So most of them on Friday they say, "Oh, Mr. Brain, I want to quickly go to the mosque to do this 1 o'clock. I'll be back in the next hour." You're free. The door is open. Quickly go and pray. Come back if you want to do. You do, right? So that is how we've been able to manage that any which way. But we get comment from the community saying, whenever people are just like the one you saw my status, he said, I'm very blessed. There was even one that said he was about to even commit something very terrible. But while he had us singing, praying, that our soul was lifted and the burden were lifted. We didn't even know about that. So it's been something we've been doing. And we are not just doing it because we're doing it. It's part of the instruction that God actually gave to me. That every year, you have to do this for you to see my hand. And I better disobey people than disobey the one who has actually. That's a very, very big one. We would address it on 2 points. Anyway, there are some people who run this business for profit sake. There are some people that it is a ministry for them. So the way both of us will think will be different. If you establish a business based on a capitalist, based on what I want to make, based on, it's September, there are only just 5 people that will come, I will wait till January, I can have 50 or 100, by then I start getting better teachers, start them, so that at least me too, I can see some money to sustain myself in that way. It will be different from somebody who is running it like a call, like a ministry. One of the persons that inspired me for that is he's not even in our field. He's a man of God as Bishop Oedebo. I've been following him for a number of years now. He said the same way he will prepare to minister when they were 3.5. Same way he prepares for the ministry, for the message, as if he's talking to 1,000 or 2,000. Because he's not seeing those 3 people sitting. He's seeing beyond that. Even the Bible, sorry for pointing to that side, say where 2 or more, I can say he's there. So whether they are 1, whether they are 2, and the secret is that what we don't know is that the better hand you give them from the beginning, you are turning those students to a public advance. Right? So September, they came, you already gave them the best of the best who will be with them till the end. They see immediately their orientation change. And they won't see some of them tell their parents, drag their parents, and say, Mommy, I don't want to go back to where I was before. I want to join these people. But I want to register my exam with these people. Of course, it will cost us, definitely. Because whether they are one or two, the tutor teaching, we have to pay them what we have agreed on.
Exactly.
Definitely. So just like Ecclesiastes said, there's time to make profit, there's time to lose, there's time to gain. So one must understand this. So if you don't draw the line and know when to obey this biblical scripture, or when to lose, when to gain, if you only just know when to gain, when to gain, when to gain, it has been working for me. And I would not reduce the quality for nothing. I wouldn't say because it's August, it's September, let me find some undergraduate somewhere who is not well cooked in the field and say, yeah, you come so I can give you a token so that I can still make a token like that. So I believe that during those September, October, or whatsoever, though it is the development stage, but why should we now lessen the quality of what we are doing? So that's why I said from the beginning that it is a ministry to you. You will think different from somebody who is running it as a business to make profit. So the guy running as a business to make profit would just want to give them something to sustain, and when the money is about to come, then I cannot afford to bring in the best. But what we don't know is how you start your business. If you start it with quality from the beginning, it will look as if nothing is happening.
Yes.
But I can tell you, by the time the explosion comes, even you yourself will be very surprised. I would advise everybody in the field, don't let us reduce the quality of this so that we may blame it. Look at the statistic. 80% will not fall to 200, and I'm very sure that at least nothing less than 8 million students or 1.5 million attended schools, attended tutorials. Okay, so with some of time, most of us just blame the student for the failure, not looking at the parts of the school owners, the tutorial owners who are watering down, right?
Yes.
Who are not doing, who are not giving. A student is dull. A student is as equal to who is teaching them.
Exactly.
You know, I intentionally sat for JAMB this year. You know, one student asked me, Mr. Bro, will pass everybody. I said, that's not true. I said, in fact, we might even do better than I am. Because number one, I will give you everything I know already. By the time I wrote the exam, I got close about 270 or thereabout. Even my subject, I had about 70 plus. I had a student who even scored close to 90 in my subject. Exactly, in my subject. So what I would, exactly. So I'm happy. That, wow. So my student now that I trained from nothing is now so inspired that, you know, he can even do better. And that is how it should be. That's how it should be. So we should not withhold. And that's what is causing problem in the academic field. We are watering it down. This was not how it was. You know, I was looking at Balewa of those days. I was looking at how they were speaking. These guys were not different from the British. If you are privileged to watch YouTube and see, look at those people who taught them. They were equal to those people. But what has gone wrong along the line? Because some people want to make profit than making sure they impact. So you have to balance it. You have to choose which one. Are you there for profit making? Or are you there to impact? Because we all know that they say the reward of teachers is in heaven. So let us wait for. But I know definitely that there was something that will wake up one day, and one day, just within one day, they will come, and everything that would have taken you 20 years to still achieve, they will come and say, because of what you did in our life, we want to do this for you, this for you, like that. So that is my own. If it works for you, fine. If it does not work for you, fine. It's for those who can attain that. So teaching is a ministry. So you don't go into church and say, I want to make money. You have to go there because of the soul. You want to win. Like that. So that's my own perspective.
This view is deep. This view is very, very deep. In the academic sections, we are not talking about 100 anymore. We're not talking about 100 candidates. We're not talking about 200 candidates. You know, we're talking about something more. And every one of them is now with different belief. You understand? In the academic view, how do you still manage the? I'm just coming because people are going to tutorial and don't really. If you ask some of them, what do you want to score? Hey, 200 is okay. You know, they are too casual. You know, they give this casual response. So how do you manage them?
Okay, so how do we manage those set of students? Both the one that are there for the reason why they are there, the one who are just there because they don't have a choice to be there. None is normal. So where the children of God, the children of Belial, they are also there. right? Well, I won't say there's one particular way of managing them. And the other area of favorite also, definitely, even from what you just said now, I think there's 120 disciples, there's 70, there's 12, there's 3, there is 1, of course, because those people that you see that, oh, this one are there for what they came for, automatically, everybody, you will believe in them and you want to give them support. So the way you will try to handle somebody who say, oh, I've just scored 350, will be different from somebody who say, I just scored 180, 200. So their thinking, their perception, they are quite different like that. So yes, we have all those kind. And there are some there who just there for fun. There are some there who didn't even have any exam to register, they just want to be there. But those were some challenges I've been trying to handle and I've been trying to cope some excesses too, because we've been finding it challenging as those people who are not there for serious business are directly or indirectly, if care not taken, will derail those who are there for meaningful purpose like that. So one of the things we've been doing, which I need to even take more seriously next year, is serious one-on-one interrogation with those students, right? We won't be in a hurry because I noticed once the season boom, because of sometimes my inavailability at the center, I just see all kinds of man of students who are not buying my culture, right? Which some of them are need to either directly expel or talk to them or get to a parent to say. So going forward, one of my plans for that area is to actually have a serious one-on-one already. Of course, we do general orientation, but general orientation is, the one-on-one orientation is quite more effective. So we need to sit down with them. What's your plan? What's your purpose? What are you really here for? So I think with that, we'll be able to really know who is who. Another way is for us to get them feel the commitment from, right?
Okay.
At this place where you are, our primary objective, purpose, we have some other secondary objective, is to learn. That's our primary goal. Of course, there are ways we do some socials, we do some extracurricular activities, we do this Friday talk shows, everything, not just fellowship. We do talk show, right? We do talk shows, though most of them we might not really put them on record. Something we just add them in our name, we do some talent on show. Because we also need to redefine education. And that is the area that I'm going to very soon. Because this school, for example, here, we are want to actually education redefined. So in Nigeria generally, we also use section of education. We have relegated it just come read pass go to the university. But the truth is, not every student is to go to university, not every student is to study nursing, not every student is to study law, which we all see, and you study law, you are not serious about this. So our job is to also identify the talent of the student and let them cultivate. Some of them have good voices that they can sing. Why they are there and the tutorial, you notice that this one is not into mathematics. Don't condemn them and say you are low to you are this. They are meant to function differently. There's fish in the water. There is animals on land. So when you now remove the fish from water, you can possibly put it somewhere else. Because everybody is there, you will notice that this one is not doing well on this area. But that does not mean it's not meant to do well. So one area that we administrators need to start doing is to even help students discover purpose. I remember a girl I thought many years ago, over a decade ago, an after, I think she was in band 5 those years, it's about 13, 14 years ago. She said, Mr. Brain, why do I need to learn this math? I want to be a sculptor. I want to be the next Michelangelo or something like that. Do I need all this? It was not the purpose. When I really went back from there, they was like, really, it makes sense to like that because we are Nigeria just one way. I think that's the area we have also failed the students. Some of them have to be athletes, some of them have to be footballers. So we need to start looking for how to develop them to harness them on the area they will do well. So when you say students don't show interest in this particular way, you know that they don't have interest. They have interest in some other thing. So what we need to do is to now find their interest. I have them in school. People when it's time to work in class and sleep in their time. But when it's time for singing, when they are the best in it. So I think one area for us to fulfill or to make them have impact is to help them discover where they have to be also. So that is what I think is actually wrong with the educational system of Nigeria. Everybody just one way, they go to university,
Become the doctor, become the nurse. Of course, yeah, that's right.
And we need to redefine it so like that.
My next question
Okay, yeah.
that I wanted to get to know. So, what are the biggest operational challenges in running an educational focused business like that of Brainmaster? And how have you been able to optimize your systems? I mean, how have you been able to use your own ideas or your own professional expertise to overcome these sort of challenges during the administration or the administrative sections? You know, the whole um, unforeseen challenges, the prepared challenges also. Talking about this your population, discussing on dealing with your staffs. You understand? Then the major focus of this question is concerning those you are working closely with in the administration itself in terms of your own decisions. When you want to carry out maybe a particular how do I put it? You want to carry out an operation of your own. Maybe you want to bring in something new into this, and you just feel like, oh, this thing should make sense in this administration. And do you have those that you need to talk with, or do you just carry it out? Since I've talked about it, I feel it's good. Let me do it. Yeah. So do you prior to the fact that you're not the only one in that administration itself, both in the tutorial and in the school, having it that your wife is also one of the administrators right here. So have there been challenges in that operation, and how are you managing that system itself?
Okay. So basically, education itself is a challenge.
Mm.
Running a school, running a tutorial is a for itself.
Mm.
So gradually as business grows, it begins to go beyond one man structure. And I think the more you grow, the more you need to have people. That's why you see structures too. You will see advisory committee or board.
Yes.
You will see proprietor, you see advisory board.
Yes.
And even the president of the country said you see the minister of
Yes.
minister of that. So all these people are important to give input. However, on the long run, we call it advice. They give you input, which the set man, whosoever is the leader, you are to the one to seek out. So not all advice should be taken, not all advice should be what rejected, especially in a system whereby it is endless, in a system where it has been running for ages, even before you were structured. So definitely we need to, just the way you are a startup now, and then you're trying to get one or two input. So definitely there are some things that we need to do that sometimes it's beyond us. You need to seek professional advice. Okay, this and this and this. They give it to you, you put them down, you seek knowledge on this at the end of the day. So by the end of the day, the major input at the end of the day should still be by you, the director, you, the figure. Because if anything is wrong at the end of the day, nobody will need people who advise you. Nobody will run after them. It is you who are going to implement. So I wouldn't just say the fact that don't let business be all around you. We know that every little thing you are the only one. So if you want your business to be more structured, in fact, you need to have some people that are even taking some decisions for you, right? Well trained people, right? They will take some decisions so that you can even look at more pressing things. So, for example, in a school now, something is happening in science, they came to call you provider, you dealt with it. Something is happening in the student union, student units, you went there, you became very strong and you're not able to focus on some things you need to do. So we need to decentralize some of this your work. You see, okay, you are in charge of building, you are doing that, but you are just in charge of the operation, right? To look at everything. So there are challenges, people working with you from the staff, from this, but we must just try to study people that are working for you. I wouldn't say there are no challenges, I wouldn't say there are no arguments, even in the family, even with our itself they fight each other, bite the tongue and all like that. So they are together 247. So they are challenges, but all I believe is at the output, right after looking at the left and right, you should still be able to sit down and give yourself the best opinion because the truth is you are the only man in the business. Every other person here are just secondary. No matter how they will fly out if the problem gets there. So you are the only one there, you are the only staff. So I always see myself like that at some time like that. So I listen to advice, I get people, even people I'm not saying physically, I do a background check, how were they able to do this and that. So I think for you to grow successfully, you need people. People are very important. You need to seek the advice and what they're going to last 10, 15 years, you get to within 10 minutes, you get to within 15 minutes to be able to avoid falling into the same pitfall like that. So, but I still strongly believe that the final decision after you conduct MA and go will still be by you. That's why they call you CEO. Executive
Yes, of course, of course. Okay, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, just one more. Do you have any regret in this business?
Okay. Um, Regrets. Will I say regret directly, or will I say, how will I put it? I don't want to use the word regret.
Okay.
Maybe downtime, low time. Yes, there are downtime. There are time you ask God again that this thing. So the challenge is enormous. However, I won't call it regret. I call it challenge. I won't call it regret. There are many challenges. There are still many more we are still in face. So I wouldn't say I regretted because, like I said, to me, I came into teaching by calling, not by. I'm not being spiritual, but I know it. I say to people humorously that at a certain year after my university years and all, 2013, then about 14, I was sleeping and I had like a dream. It was not a trance, right? I see myself, I had a voice strongly. My name was called. Say, this is what I've called you to do. This is what I've called you to do. And that's the reason I'm giving you this name, this brain name about 4 years prior to the time I even had that encounter. So to me, it was a calling. So it's just for you to say, did you ever regret being a pastor? If you have a pastor that, if you ask Pastor E as a boy, he says, I left my teaching profession for this pastor, I suffered a lot, this and that. So I've also passed through, which I'm still passing through those difficult times like that. But I won't see it as a regret. I only see it as a challenge. Okay, so I don't have any regret. I enjoy it, and if I'm born in the next life again, I'll still choose the one I'm still choosing again like that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Before the next question, what do you think you could have um become or you could be doing if it was not the or if you had not come into the education line?
Okay. I tell my students every time when I was young, I wanted to be a pilot. That has been my dream, my goal. But when I was not thinking of it, I'm not longer the pilot I want to be. Then my spirit told me, you are still the pilot, but a different pilot. Now you are not flying plane in the air. You're flying people. You're moving people. You're leading people. And that's what the pilot does. He stands in front, right? He stays in front. He moves people to their destination. The lives of people are in his hand. Any little mistake, hundreds of people can lose their lives. So the same thing in the field, God just decided to redesign it in another way. So I really wanted to. I love science so well, though I wasn't a science background, but I wanted to because of the exposure I had. My dad was working at British Airways then, so I see all those pictures, Boeing 707, Heathrow. I loved it. Like, it's one of the best things you can ever be. But my plan, God definitely has his own superior plan. So I'm still a pilot, but not pilot of plane, but pilot of men. So yeah. Don't be afraid to do anything your mind
Okay.
or your heart is leading you to. So there are some things I actually delayed doing, right? Because I was being skeptical. I was like, I wasn't sure. But then, if I would advise myself, I think there were some things I should have started earlier. right? 5 years ago, even longer. For example, the project of Brewmaster, which is the college, is something I would have started at least 7 years back then, like that. But we keep procrastinating, trying to look at all possibility, trying to like, oh, we need a standard before we can. But then, start anyhow. Start embryonic. Just start. Once you start, it begins to bring form, it begins to shape up like that. But if you don't start, you keep the best time to start is just now. So anything your heart is telling you to do, just start. Don't look at the constraint, don't look at the money, don't look at anything. Just start. When people laugh, just tell them this is just the beginning. Give us 5 years, give us 7 years, give us 10 years, like that. To me, currently the Brewmaster I'm running it's still not my dream Brewmaster. Maybe before you go, I'll show you some pictures. Or if you have seen my status this morning, you will see what I wrote. Brewmaster IB City. That's where I'm still. That's where I'm still going to like that. So this one, I'm not seeing where we are now. I'm seeing something big, but I can't put myself there right now. We just need to grow organically. Okay. So that's one advice I would give myself. Okay. What advice again? What advice again? There are, but I can't actually just articulate most of them. But just start whatever you want to start. Don't be afraid to approach anybody. Just give it a try. Just give it a try. There are some opportunities I lost because I was being skeptical, like this and this and this. And some people say, oh, I didn't mean you actually told me, and I just gave it away. Oh, and when you are being given idea, ruminate, right? Think about it very well. Don't be in a haste. I think mistakes I do is sometimes I'm hasty to quickly implement something. So what I've learned over the time is take your time. Time will surely reveal what is right from what is wrong, like that. So whosoever gives you idea, don't implement the idea ASAP, right? So it depends. So there are some that are instant this and that, but if it's something that is not instant like that, take your time, find out, and of course there is still one that is superior than everybody, superior than your partner, which is why we have God factor, which is that the strongest voice I listen to most of the time. So I think those are some of the things I would
So basically, it is just do it.
do it.
Okay. 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 This is beautiful. You really said a not a whole lot.
Definitely.
You said reasonable things,
Yeah, check.
reasonable things, and I must say your your information, your knowledge, your wisdom on experience, it really will go a long way. And I think I am going to buy a whole lot of your ideas. Yes, I'm going to definitely buy a whole lot of your ideas. And I know we're going to work on so many things
Definitely.
together. It's a pleasure
Thank you
to
so very much.
thank you for having us
Thank you
here.
for coming around. Thank you for the
It's a
time.
privilege
Thank you
to
so
meet
much.
with Mr. Brain.
Thank you so much. It's
You
our
really
honor.
say, um,
I'm
Brain
the
is the
brain.
man.
I am the brain. God is the master.
God is the master. I like that. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. I really
All right,
appreciate
God
you
bless you,
people.
Lord.
Definitely.
It's a privilege.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
sir.
God bless you.
All right.
I wish you the best ahead.
Thanks. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, sir.
Definitely. Well done.